Wow, now that is how you do a season finale. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. Wow, let's just get straight into it. The season 3 finale of Succession was just absolutely incredible. I mean, it had a little bit of a slow start, but it more than made up for it with one of the best showdowns and twists in modern history. I mean, season 4 literally cannot come soon enough. I mean, who on earth saw that coming? That Tom would be the person that stabs all of the other siblings in the back. I absolutely love the fact that we did have all of the siblings uniting, and it truly did demonstrate that Tom's line about Logan at the start of this season really did come full circle when he was like, Logan never loses. And it really did remind everyone of the red wedding sequence, which was itself absolutely iconic. And I feel like the season 2 finale of Succession was so awesome in and of itself. And now we have the season 3 one, which was just absolutely incredible. And I'm going to be breaking everything to do with this episode with you right now. Okay, so I will of course talk about the finale moment in a minute, but let's talk about the start of this episode first. So we start off with that brilliant Monopoly game and all of the metaphors that all of the siblings and all of the characters were having with each other. I thought was absolutely brilliant. I mean, this show has awesome one-liners and digs, and I feel like in that moment, we definitely saw a lot of them. We then have Logan and Roman going off to see the Lucas character, and the Lucas character is proposing to him that Gojo will buy out Waystar Royco, which normally, under any other circumstance, Logan would have automatically said no to it and completely shut it down. However, in this situation, he is actually exploring it, and the fact that he stayed with the Lucas character and told Roman to go, I feel like they were already planting the seeds of what is going to happen later. Like I said, this show always has wicked one-liners, and I really loved all of Logan's one-liners in this episode. For example, I'm not going to tell you what I'm thinking, and do you want me to do some small talk about telling you how nice your house is? I thought Logan's one-liners were absolutely awesome, especially towards the Lucas character, who he is seeing as somewhat of a rival slash business partner, which I thought was really, really interesting. We also had the siblings' lunch, which turned out to be a little bit of an intervention against the Kendall character, but I absolutely loved Connor in this particular sequence with his knife, and you can really see that years and years and years of tension and neglect just burst out of the Connor character, especially when Kendall used the line that he is the eldest son, and of course Connor is the eldest son, which you can really tell just really got to him, and he really felt that he is always being thrown and pushed to the corner, which I thought was an absolutely brilliant reaction. Talking of reactions, we see that the Willa character actually says yes to Connor's proposal, although she didn't really say it in a really happy way. She just said it in a bit of a way that is suitable to these very elitist, privileged type characters. And then we also had the wedding of the kid's mother, and in that sequence, everything kind of seemed very normal, very civilized, and then things really did take a bit of a dramatic turn. So we first see that the Greg character is being a bit of a player and has 2 women that he is able to choose from, but he is immediately telling this to the Tom character, and Tom is really quickly getting Greg on his side when he is going to stab all of the other kids in the back. Speaking of the kids, I absolutely loved it that we finally get to see Kendall, Shiv and Roman kind of being a bit of a united trio. I mean, in this season in particular, they've always been at loggerheads. And in the other 2 seasons, you know, they're kind of plotting and planning against one another to try to impress the Logan character. But this time, we finally see them being united as a trio against the Logan character, which I'm sure we'll see a lot more of in the next season, which I think is going to be a really interesting dynamic shift. And this time, Logan won't have anything on the Kendall character, as he unintentionally told his brother and sister about what happened to the waiter during Shiv's wedding. I absolutely loved Kendall's breakdown, so intense and just brilliantly acted by Jeremy Strong, and I just feel like it was so interesting as this character obviously needed time to really process everything that he was going through, but he had to quickly be rushed into the whole Logan situation. So from a character's point of view, these guys just have so much that they are dealing with. And then we have the best moment of all, where we are learning that the Gojo deal is actually going ahead. And I absolutely just love the confrontation of these trio of characters against the Logan Roy character, and you are thinking that the trio are actually going to be on top and they are going to have Waystar Royco all for themselves, but actually Logan, like Tom said earlier on in this season, Logan never loses, and the 3 people that these 3 characters took for granted, namely Tom, their mother and Gerri, are now the ones that are really turning the tables on them and quite literally stabbing them in the back. And I just thought it was just so intense. I mean, that sequence where Logan is just shouting at them, wanting Kendall to be out of the room, but actually the Roman character is choosing to side with his brother and sister. And I just feel like Kieran Culkin in the previous episode and in this episode is just absolutely killing it. Such phenomenal acting, and you can just really feel the conflict that this character is having in terms of he is always partnering up with his father this season, but finally in the final moment he is actually choosing his siblings, and you can just really see how conflicted he is in that moment. And then in the final few moments we see that the Tom character is coming in and that the Logan character is patting him in the back. So quite literally Tom is the Judas character in this entire situation, as he has quite literally thrown the Roy kids under the bus and is now going to be teaming up with Greg and Logan and maybe Lucas as well. So I just feel like season 4 is just going to have one of the best showdowns ever. I mean, it's looking as if Logan, Tom and Greg are going to get away with it, but I wouldn't put it past these 3 siblings to have another card up their sleeve. And I just feel like season 4 honestly is just going to be absolutely brilliant. So overall, I absolutely loved episode 9 of season 3. I thought it was such a phenomenal finale for this season. I feel like they were really building everything up for this final crescendo moment, and you literally had your jaw on the floor as you just couldn't believe what is happening with the Tom character, with how Logan is totally outsmarting everyone, how he actually isn't choosing any of his kids to be the new successor of the Waystar Royco company and is now seemingly choosing Tom instead, and is actually having a buyout instead as well. I just feel like it's totally subverting everyone's expectations, and I just literally, like I said before, just cannot wait for season 4 to come, as I honestly feel like season 4 may well be the best season of all. I mean, this episode in particular really did have it all. I mean, the really glamorous location for the wedding, and also all of this business dealing side as well. And also I feel like the Shiv character is now going to have to be in bed with the Tom character. So I just feel like even from a relationship point of view, it's going to be totally fascinating, as thus far Shiv has always had the upper hand, and Tom always understandably must feel totally squashed by this character, but now finally he is going to be on top. And also he was making a deal with Logan right in the beginning of the season when he was happily going to be the blood sacrifice for the Logan character, and when Logan was getting out of there he did say to Tom, look, I will never forget this. And clearly Tom is able to redeem on that promise, and it just made those final few moments in this season and this episode just absolutely iconic. So those are all of my thoughts on season 3 episode 9 of the brilliant show Succession. Now I'd love to hear from you, so please let me know what you thought of the finale in the comment section below. Otherwise I look forward to seeing you in my next video.